Hey, what's going on? Robert, I thought we were meeting right now.
Yo, what's
Hey, you can
shaking,
talk.
AC? How's it
You're
going?
paying me all this money.
I know, right? What's
Yeah.
going on? What's going
Hey,
on? How are you?
check it in, man. How are you? I'm sure you're settled back in after the IFA and thought it would be good to quick check in and ask you what is standing out for you after being at the IFA 2020.
Yeah, so I am settled into a kitchen, um, and so about the IFA, right? I think it was so fun. I had so much fun there, but there's a few key takeaways that I had, and the number one key takeaway, the number one above all, is that you can never have enough coconut water, right?
I think I just bit when I laughed because it was
That's okay.
A,
Listen,
that's really interesting, and B, coconut water.
yeah, isn't that how you spell it? Coconut water,
Right.
oregano, Gatorade. It helps you replenish your electrolytes because all of these people at the IFA, they're at this conference. They work so hard and then they play so hard all night. And you got to wake up in the morning and you got to go grind again. And when you're dehydrated and you got a headache,
Yeah,
you're
I
just
think so.
pounding this stuff, just pounding it like crazy.
Okay. Okay. So number one, the coconut water. What's number two for you?
Well, what's number one for you? This is
Okay.
not about me here.
The main thing I think I'm taking away is how awesome it was to attend the leadership conference. I had never attended it,
Mm.
and I had the privilege of getting to sit in on the session and facilitate a table and contribute my insights. And it was really cool because there was a case study. Well, there were some speakers. Paul Pickett, shout out to Paul Pickett for winning the Crystal Compass Award. He's such a rock star and so well deserved for his leadership in franchising. So shout out to Paul. And so great speakers, and the case study was really cool. We broke into broke into roundtables and talked about all the challenges that the company that was being studied had, which turned out to be the Joint Chiropractic, and we didn't know that at the time, which was kind of cool. So we were just like, what would we do if this happened? And we made all our notes, and then we got to hear what actually happened. We found out it was the Joint. Peter Holt spoke about all the things that he went in and did to turn the company around, and it was super cool because our group was like, yeah, we thought of that, we thought of that. And of course we didn't miss a thing, but no kidding. But it was really good to because we just talked. It was good to get in there and the real life. So that was super cool. And number two was the session for how to use LinkedIn and streamline with Marcos Mora, Dan, and I'm not going to try to say that any better. Dan Monahan, and of course hosted by Elaine Fisher. It was such an amazing session, so practical. They did it workshop style. I think you got there for the last little bit and even got some nuggets out of it. And I'm excited to take that stuff and work with my clients on getting more and more specific about who we're targeting, and then using LinkedIn the way that we were learning in that session. So those were two things that really stood out for me. The more you go to these conferences and just look back at what you always get something, but you get like the next level when you
Yeah. I totally get it.
next level things. So yeah, what about you?
It's funny you mentioned Peter Holtz because he was a mentor at the Next Gen thing that
I
was
was
going
just
on
gonna
this.
say, I mean, congrats for being a rock star.
Thank you,
All
thank
star,
you.
yeah, all
Bring out
star.
the parade, the trumpets.
Yeah. And I saw you down the hall. I got a video of that. I don't know if you know that or
Oh,
that, but I'll have to get that out on social media. But
okay. I want to see that video.
yeah. So I gotta say, it was really cool to hear that you were asked to do that. Another client of mine, Ruth Agbaji from Code Wiz, was
Yeah,
involved.
she was there.
Proud of her. And then the other cool thing is that two Canadians ended up tying. So wait, what's wrong with you?
What do you mean? What's wrong with me?
Why couldn't you?
Why did I?
Why didn't you win?
I was looking for coconut water.
Yeah. So anyway, Next Gen All Stars. Two of my clients out of what, 10 people, or how many people were in it?
Yeah, I think there was roughly 10. It was definitely dominated by Canadians. There's, Ruth and Carmelo and John,
Jen.
and who?
Jen.
Oh yeah,
Turley.
Jen. Yeah, Jen, and even Tony, the guy who's running it. It's so awesome.
Taking over.
Yeah, they took the winner from like every year since like I think 2015, or maybe not all the winners. And they pieced this together and we went battled head to head. The subject that we covered was what's the future of franchising,
Yep.
and
Sorry, can I fix my hair? Yeah.
Okay, me too. Got
No
it.
problem with video when you're looking at yourself. Okay, anyway, back to you. It's all about me here, Robert. You know that,
Right.
right?
Okay. Okay. So,
So anyway,
uh,
yeah, you were about to say the theme or
yeah, the whole theme of next gen, which I not only noticed in next gen, but also throughout the entire conference, was what the next gen or what the future of franchising is, right? And like, it's easy to say, okay, I think the future of franchising is tech or AI or like quick service concepts or whatever it is. But overwhelmingly, it just kept coming down to impact or service driven or something with like a compass or a code that you're going at, right? So even if you're a company like mine, like Control V, we're a virtual reality arcade, we sell VR time so people can come play games and do stuff like that. But ultimately, our mission is to get VR adopted by the masses so it can be used for things like medicine and education and training. And we also do, charitable work with the Children's Miracle Network of hospitals, the food bank, etc. So when I saw all of these next gen participants, that's exactly where their focus is. They're bringing clean drinking water to Africa. They're educating kids. It was just an overwhelming theme in franchising.
Well, I know with Ruth from Code Wiz, we often talk about the fact that the work that they do is helping kids feel more empowered and improving their self-esteem because they have this special skill, right? So
Yeah.
I love what you're saying, and something that I've seen is that people will ask me when they're in the early stages of franchising, they'll say, how much salary is a franchisee going to expect? What's the ROI they're going to expect? And what I've seen anyway is that people are willing to give up a little bit of salary in exchange for this ROI of fulfillment, which they can get when it's a purpose-driven business like yours or any of these next gen franchise companies. So it's like a trade-off. Like, I want to be happy. I want to feel good. I want fulfillment. Money isn't everything. I'm willing to, trade off a little bit of money for that. So that's
Yeah.
what I like to think of it as, like fulfillment ROI,
Yeah.
um, purpose ROI versus always like financial ROI.
Financial. Okay. Okay. So I totally dig it. But I think it's so awesome that you notice that too, because of anyone that I've met within the franchising industry, I think that your subset of your team, right? Like the Angela Cote team is like the most unique franchise concepts that I see,
Yeah,
right?
so it's really weird. Sorry to jump in, but like I tend to attract the unique ones. Is that because I'm kind of like, like out
You're
there?
unique too. You're unique
Maybe.
too.
I've yet to attract like just a traditional quick service kind of restaurant. Like
So
everyone's
this is
like,
what we're gonna do. We're gonna hire a documentary crew to follow you around one of these conventions, and they'll be like, you're gonna sit down and watch and be like, if you do not think you are unique, then I don't know what's wrong with you. That's exactly what's going on, right?
unique is
So, pardon me.
unique is good. Is that what you're saying?
Unique is great. Unique is
Okay.
fantastic, right? You can't be an individual if you're going to be like everyone else.
Right.
But anyways, my point is that you've got this network of very unique franchisors that are doing really cool stuff, and so your insights are so unique. Like I hate quoting Steve Jobs because it's so cliche, but if I paraphrase him, he once said, when a creative individual is asked to solve a problem and they solve the problem, the non-creative individual says, well, how did you do that? And the creative individual is like, well, I just did it. And it's
Mhm.
because that creative individual has done so many different things, whether it's travel or business or art or whatever, that they're able to synthesize a solution differently than everyone else. And I think that's kind of where, like, you've got awesome insights on this, and so do your friends, your franchisors that you work with, and our F3 sessions that we have together, and we meet up at the conference, and we're able to bounce ideas off each other that are quite literally groundbreaking. Like, I cannot fall asleep. I'm like, oh yeah, and this and this and this and this.
Yeah, I think so many people get stuck in this mentality of like these traditional ways of doing things, and I think we just miss out on so much opportunity when we don't think differently and do things that I just have a can do approach to things, and I try to encourage people to as well. But enough about me, and about you, because I'm getting hungry, and
Yeah, me too.
I'm done talking with you. So
Okay, I'm done talking with you.
yeah, no, I'm hanging up first.
Okay, okay. We'll have another phone call some other time, okay?
Robert. Well, that sounds good. And in the meantime,
Go be awesome. Peace
go
out.
be awesome.